Arc 3.0 is nearly here, and you may be wondering what weapons to dust off in preparation for the release of Season 18. And what better way to do that than a few weapon suggestions? I'm going to go through a list of legendary and exotic weapons that I believe may benefit from Arc 3.0, with some of these getting some major updates. This video was meant to be the Titan Duality solo flawless run, but the current title bug that wipes you randomly is making it impossible, so until Bungie patches it, I'm just going to chill, peeps. If this vid gives you some ideas at all, make sure to slap that like button and sub for more content like this. Right, let's get into it, peeps. First up on this list is the Vortex frame sword from the Grasp of Avarice dungeon, Hero of Ages. It comes with some fun perks, including chain reaction, and can also be paired with Demolitionist. This sword is really good at clearing mobs of ads, and with this specific combo, it will be very useful for grenade builds. It's the only Arc Vortex frame sword as of the making of this video, and it's easily obtainable from the second encounter of the dungeon as it's farmable, so go grab one if you haven't already. Next up on this list, and probably high on everyone's Arc 3.0 list, is the Mini Zalo Supercell. Risk Runner is one of the best Arc exotics in the game, as taking any Arc damage lets you electrocute ads surrounding your target, giving you damage resistance, and killing or taking Arc damage refreshes the 5-second timer for its exotic perk. It is one of the most effective mob killing exotics in the game, and a go-to for certain GM nightfalls. Make sure to test this out once the subclass updates come around. Talking of mob clearing ads, an even better pick to choose from is a certain exotic bow. Yes, you guessed it right. Trinity Ghoul is even more powerful than Risk Runner. With its catalyst, getting any arc kills procs its exotic perk, including grenades and melee, and shooting arrows in close proximity to targets electrocutes them and can chain damage. Getting kills with the weapon re-triggers the exotic perk, meaning you can indefinitely walk around with mass electrocution rounds, a must-have in your character inventory for the season reset. We've taken a pass at some ad clearers, with more to come, but next one may be very useful for DPS and ability regeneration. Coldheart got reworked this season. It is now generating ionic traces, previously specific to military arc warlocks. Firing this gun at a target in full damage mode can generate traces, which give you ability energy. It is a good option for DPS in lower level activities, and may become very useful for some builds thanks to the ionic traces. This is one to keep an eye out for sure. Next up is a craftable weapon, and I cannot wait to try this one out once Season 18 drops. Waveframe grenade launchers are extremely good, and Forbearance is right up there. This can roll chain reaction, but the Wellspring perk may about to become incredibly potent on this gun. The perk is getting updated, as there was a cap on the amount of energy it could generate based on the number of kills, but that is going away, meaning this gun may about to become part of the PvE meta, granting a substantial amount of more energy on multi-kills. One can hope, and it's also craftable, so load up some Val raids and grab one. Next up is one of the original Destiny 2 exotics that has effectively been forgotten about. Legend of Acrius is one of the 2 heavy shotguns, and its catalyst is getting a rework, which may make this gun a bit more viable. The catalyst is being updated to grant it Dredge Barrel. Meleeing a target grants this weapon bonus damage for the next 3 bursts, which will potentially make this a very strong champion killer. It can also shred through targets, and may also be useful to DPS stationary bosses. One to keep an eye out in your heavy slot. Let's stick to shotguns, shall we? Another exotic to keep an eye out for is the 4th Horsemen. Let's face it, you probably have it gathering dust somewhere, but this gun is very effective DPS option in the energy slot. A full auto shotty that does incrementing damage for each successive full auto hit, this can ruin champions and mini bosses. Do not sleep on this shotgun in PvE, peeps. Who knows what is coming with Arc 3.0 mods and fragments, the gun may benefit from these, not to mention the catalyst, giving it an extra shot. Thunderlord also makes this list at the last minute, as it's now going to get Overload rounds. We can assume its exotic perk will be able to stun Overload champions now on Lightning proc. This machine gun is a great ad clearer, and in my humble opinion, machine guns really allow players to use double special weapons in your kinetic and energy slots. Thunderlord is no exception, peeps. It also increases its rate of fire as you hold down the trigger, and was once known back in the Forsaken meta as a boss DPS option. Remember Kali in Last Wish, people? Leave a like if you remember that meta. Feeding Frenzy also rolls on this weapon, meaning fast reloads. We mentioned running double special weapons with machine guns, and if you love glaives like I do, look no further than Nezorex Whisper. This glaive has a unique combination, Genesis and Adaptive Munitions. It essentially makes this weapon a shield breaking expert. Genesis regenerates your magazine, whilst Adaptive Munitions breaks all shield types easier. It is the only Arc Legendary glaive in the game, and it's also craftable, meaning its enhanced Adaptive Munitions perk makes it viable in endgame content. If you have not crafted this glaive, I suggest to get a move on, as it is a very unique glaive due to its perk pool, and glaive gameplay, no matter in PvE or PvP, it never gets boring. Those are my picks, peeps. Have I missed any, or you believe there are guns out there that we should be looking out for? Let me know in that comment section. Quick shout out to the Anarchy Exotic Grenade Launcher, it may make a comeback. Unless Bungie suddenly patch the Keitel encounter in Duality, my next video will be a top Arc 3.0 armor pick for each class. For those of you still here, sorry for the lack of content this season, lots of stuff going on in my personal life, but everything's back to normal now. Please leave a like to help out the video, and consider subscribing if you haven't. Your viewership is more than enough though. Season 18 is near. I can already hear Lord Shack celebrating the end of the classy restoration mod. Until that actually happens though. Fight!